What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that movement, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting live on Monday, August 18th. And the second half of August has started. So that means school. When I was in high school, Septembre, as they used to say en français, Septembre is coming up. And even this morning in Toronto, got up this morning, it was like 14 degrees Celsius. So for our Americans, because they're probably one of the few countries in the world that's still the old thing, it's like 55 degrees, no humidity, but sunny. But it was a change. I'm going, wow. But we're not supposed to get it for too long. We're supposed to get back into the hot, humid, and hazy weather very quickly. So like to say good to have you here, whether it's live on replay. Hope you had I had a good weekend. I hope everyone else did. I know I had a good weekend because got mosquito bites. I got mosquito. I was out on Saturday. Actually was in two events on Saturday. And Mr. Knight is here. All right, let's see if there he is. Hello, Mr. Knight.
Yes. Good day. Good to see you.
What's going on, Mr. Knight?
I am good. Glad to hear you're getting some mosquito bites.
Why?
You said you had a good summer weekend if you got mosquito bites?
Well, that means I was probably around food that was loved. Right, that's why. But how was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. I took my daughter to see The Lion King, so that was quite epic.
Okay.
Yeah, my wife is recovering from a car accident, so wasn't able to make it. So took my daughter Jazz.
Oh no, is she okay?
Yeah, it's I feel like it's giving her some time to rest, so that's really good. But yeah.
Okay, well, do send our love and best wishes on her wonderful recovery, peaceful and good recovery. Lion King, so that was downtown.
Yes, Princess Margaret Theater.
How was traffic?
Traffic was smooth. I was actually shocked. We got downtown like 45 minutes. I don't know what we hit a slipstream or something, but it was good.
Wow. And what else went on the weekend?
That was the biggest thing. I would say I was curious to see how Jasmine would react to seeing The Lion King, because it was a bit of a surprise. So I brought her down, and she was saying, because we were trying to grade like where that lands, and she's like, nah, Lion King is in its own class. Like there's actually no grade. I was like, that was amazing. Okay. And it's true, because I can't think of what would have been some other theater type stuff that we've gone to see. So it really it checks all the boxes, and it's already hyped up so much. You think, oh, okay, can it live up to that hype? And it surpassed it. So
nice. Well, people were saying, well, how did you get mosquito bites? Well, they were out there. I was at actually two events on Saturday. I did my Ryan Knight impersonation on Saturday. I was in where was it? Clarington, which is from where I live, about a 45-minute drive. And I may have mentioned, if you've been around for a while, I think 2 years ago I'd mentioned a good friend of my dad he was the master of ceremonies of this gentleman and his wife's wedding now 52 years ago. God. And they've known each other from Jamaica. They've known each other from Jamaica all the way. They've known each other. This gentleman And actually, I'd like to see if I can get him on the show. But you know what? I'm going to be inviting a group of people out to this because you need to see it. This is a black gentleman born in Jamaica, came to Canada, came to Toronto. He served in the Metropolitan Police Force for about 35 years.
Okay, whoa.
And when a number in the latter years of his services in the police service, he was a sergeant.
Okay, gotcha.
And it was about 3 or 4 years ago, him and his wife celebrated their 50th anniversary.
Nice.
And here's the crazy thing. My dad was at their wedding.
Hey, what? Okay.
And he was the master of ceremonies at their wedding, and they asked him to be master of ceremonies at their 50th anniversary.
Gotcha.
And believe it or not, there were some officers that served under this gentleman that traveled from Mexico to this event.
Yeah, man, that's a huge milestone. That's worth the
Huge.
trip.
So that's one. There's a few parts there, and also for about the last 20 plus years, he has had a 100-acre farm in Clarington.
Okay.
And even in his retirement days, he gets up, especially in the summertime, 3 or 4 days a week. He lives in Toronto. He drives out to Clarington and works on his farm and comes back in the evening.
Gotcha.
And well, when I was out there the first time, last name is Pinnock. I won't give his full name. Said, Mr. Pinnock, can you just take me around your farm? He goes, yeah, hop in the 4x4. And we drove for about half an hour, 45 minutes, all around the 100 acres.
Gotcha.
And he said, let me tell you, as far as you can see, my wife and myself own this.
Right.
And I saw him on site, and every year he has a get to their family and friends. So he invited the family up and all. So it was great. And I am going to make a point to reach out to him this week because I'm going to see if I can get a small group of people to let's go out to his farm for a day and just hang out and just listen to some of his storytelling and wisdom that he can share with us.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That I think as a true elder, and you don't hear much about him, but what he has done and his achievements have been just fantastic, and I'm really happy. And then after that, we went to a friend's place for more food, and I'm still recovering from the food from Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, like
anything that stood out? Anything on the menu that stood out?
Well, let me put this on the farm. He grows corn, so there's nothing like you actually went out, picked the corn, and cooked it right there.
Yeah,
and you could say this tastes different than the stuff and I don't eat corn a lot, not really much, but there was something about it. Say, yeah, if I'm going to eat corn, this is what I want corn to taste like.
You make the trip, yeah.
Butter, just cooked itself, didn't eat anything else, just there. And there's piles of corn out there, but that was great. More about just the people. A lot of my dad's friends were there who I hadn't seen for a long time, so it was good to catch up with them. And then after that, we went to a friend's place and more food. Oh, my body is still recovering. So, Carolyn, right. I may need to call you today, wherever you are, Carolyn Nicole, just to say, what do I need? I just feel like today just maybe a water day or just fruit day. That's it. Just to get
mini cleanse, mini wash out.
Get it out. Yeah. Anything else going on in your world? Actually, before we go to break, I want to ask you about something interesting, but anything else you want to chat about before we go to break?
Well, I don't know if you're following the news with Dr. Umar and the saga of the school.
We may have to save this till Friday. That's a whole segment in itself. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about his situation?
Because ACBN, we are currently working on a housing project. I understand more of the nuance, what it takes to get that type of project off the ground. I would say a year, 2 years ago, you hear about what Dr. Umar is doing and you put faith in that what he says he will execute. And again, of course, he's going to have a lot of detractors because he's very strong in his opinions, opinionated, and so that'll create factions. Yeah. So now, every time I've heard him talk about it, I always realize that he doesn't have a team. And that always was a red flag to me. And he wouldn't really want collaboration, or he want like people to support with in kind and doing work. It was always, oh, just give me money, just give me money. So that was always a red flag. But I did see progress. So I was like, okay, the school is there. We're seeing some renovations. It's just, when is it going to open? And it's always, you have the in the back of your mind where it's just going to fall apart, and you're like, but you hope that it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is like the fear, getting that news of, oh, they're about to take away the school. It just, whatever happens for it to get taken away is the fear. And now it's happening. I'm hoping somebody can step in and help him
No,
before the
I think
auction.
from what I've heard, yeah, they're going to auction off.
Well,
My
somebody said that they were willing to pay the back fees, the taxes.
Who's willing to pay?
Oh my goodness.
Because it's got to be. He's asking for donations.
Morgan. I have to
Like,
check the name.
like
Hold on.
one of
Let
the
me
things that
actually
I
check
find
this
very
out.
interesting, I don't know. He doesn't. I don't know if he has experience in this stuff, but when you owe back taxes and you're not paying it, there's something fishy right there.
Yeah, but
And
usually you can get it.
like his
Oh,
accounts have been frozen. That doesn't happen for no
right.
reason.
The name is Marquette Davon Burton. Said that he's willing to the um pay the taxes, so to get
Okay.
the back taxes paid up, if he's willing to, if Dr. Umar is willing to give him ownership of one of the schools. So we'll see if he takes that offer.
Okay. So Ryan, let me ask you a question. Should it take 12 years to build a school?
Only if you don't have the money. So if
Okay.
the money
Okay.
was there to pay for it and it still took 12 years, clearly the money went somewhere else. So you gotta dig. And that's where they do like a cost estimate when you're gonna build. And so you see a line item of every single thing that needs to be done and how much it costs. So the one that we're building is like 3 stories, 45 units. It'll be about 15 million. But now he was renovating. So he raised 1.6 million in order to renovate 2 schools. You've never seen a breakdown of costs. You've never seen a project plan. So this is where, was anything actually happening? Like painting walls is very it's like you can do things to make it look like you're doing work, but are things actually getting done? And you've never seen an actual project management, anything.
Yeah. If I'm this gentleman you say who wants to buy one of those things, I would ask for a full breakdown of costs up to this date.
Exactly, at minimum.
Yeah, up to this date. And if you can't provide that, don't do
But
it.
this is where the black community should have been at. Even if we're
Oh, here we go.
donating,
Your favorite
I'm
word.
saying we have to be able to operate better. Did we ask for it? And this is what it's like fresh in my mind, because anybody that we're working with that's going to fund the project, the first thing they ask for is the breakdown of cost and cash flow
Yep.
projections.
Yep.
Like, how is the school going to make money,
Yep.
and what is it going to cost to build?
Well,
But
obviously, though, he didn't have to provide that because he was doing it all on his own.
no, but he still, people that were donating should have still been requesting it.
Oh, yeah,
Like, this
absolutely.
is where us requesting
Absolutely.
it as people
Absolutely.
donating is
But
the
you know,
misfire.
okay, but this is interesting. This is not just a black thing because there are many causes that people donate to. They don't really care. They don't ask for an accountability where the money's going. You
Right.
you think that it's going there. Like, oh, there's a documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but an expose on all these organizations that are allegedly helping poor people in other countries and all that. And when
Yeah.
they really dug down to it, like if there was $1 donated, at the end of the day, the recipients were only getting a small portion of it. So
Whoa.
this is not just a black thing, but obviously it's a black
Well,
thing.
look at the We Foundation. They were using the same school to keep, like, people were donating and they were doing pictures in front of the same school.
Yeah,
So we
it's
yeah,
called
we
due
give from our
diligence,
heart, right?
fiscal responsibility, and due diligence, right? And all
Right.
these people who have donated stuff over the years. Question is, how easy is it going for him going forward to get money from people now?
Where's he gonna put it? The bank accounts are frozen.
There you go. All
And
right.
I'm curious,
What?
yeah, why is
Last
that
point.
frozen? I'd be curious to hear that story.
Well, we'll probably on Freestyle Friday we can get more into this. Another
Mhm.
story I wanted to bring to you. We won't very quickly. Did you see the announcement from Spike Lee yesterday?
I did not. No.
Okay. Do people remember the name Colin Kaepernick
Yes.
and
Okay.
his protest about the national anthem?
Yes.
Well, Spike Lee was working with Colin Kaepernick and ESPN to do a documentary about his journey.
Wow.
Yesterday, Spike Lee announced that the project has no longer.
D- any reason
Now
why?
we no, and well, the thing there's a no non-disclosure agreement, so he can't get into it. But something makes me think
Mm.
that because of the current political climate in the United States, that maybe a certain president heard about this and said, you know what? If you put this out, ESPN, we're gonna put some political pressure on you.
Gotcha.
AK the same way allegedly with CBS canceling Stephen Colbert,
Right. Right.
CBS which is owned by Viacom, which is owned by Paramount, which is now can't remember the correct name of the company that's sold to Paramount Plus. No more
Oh, the
BT.
Skydance people.
Yeah, Skydance.
Okay.
There's no more Soul Train Awards. They're suspended, and so the BAT hip. So something tells me there could be a political behind that, but we'll save that to Freestyle Friday because we're going too far in.
Yes.
But we got stuff to chat on Freestyle Friday. We'll be back in I just won't because we have Desiree King coming up to do part 2 of her craft series. And a lot of people watched it first time, a lot of engagement. So that's why we have her back. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here. These are two ladies. They're not all over the place. They're forward and they're straight shooters.
I got to stand in front.
No wonder people don't understand what the Democrats have been doing. That man lied 36,000 times, and we know this because you all counted it.
This is part of the story that a lot of news outlets are not talking about. All right, we got a primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, Aisha K. Staggers and Laura Lala Key, where they try to make sense of the nonsense that's going on in America. Let's do this. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. So subscribe and hit the notification button. Also follow the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. Also join the Morning Vibe Discord group. You can join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com or click on the link that you see on your screen or you'll see in your comments section in just a moment to advertise your business, product, or service on any platforms that we're on. Email me. I already said it, not going to say it again. Indie Soup TV, Dr. Tachi's platform, independent content creators, 28,000 subscribers in about 18, 19 months. Again, only 4% of all YouTube channels have over 10,000 subscribers. Go to their platform. You see the YouTube there. You see the LinkedIn there. Okay, back on Friday, we were having some challenges with our new feature, but it is working now. So if you want to call in, this is what you got to do. Either on your phone or you can, phone, desktop, laptop, whatever digital device you can do, or you can scan and you get to the website. You know, I'm actually going to put I'm going to put something, I'm going to probably give producer Matt a little bit of crazy. I'm actually going to show you what the screen looks like when you go in there. So let me see if I can do it real quick. There we go. So, okay, what you got to do, okay, yeah, we'll do that because I can actually show what the screen looks like, but that's okay when you go in there. So when you get either do the link or do the QR code, once you get in there, put in the code in capital letters FSPL8L, It'll ask you to provide your name, and it'll say join the conversation, and we will patch you in. Now it is working. I know we had some technical difficulties, and there was technical difficulties from the provider's end on Friday, but we're good to go now. I told Desiree, oh, we got something new for you. So there's that live engagement piece, and it was working. Yesterday, actually, we had Dr. Tachion with Cesar Nadima Musa for about an hour, and she was on via audio calling in. So that is fantastic. All right. Let me clear my throat. All right. Desiree King is back with her craft series. So we want to, oh, wow. We already have a call. Hold on. Okay. We'll take the call.
Well, don't take the call yet. Let the guests come in and
let the guests come in. So frequency event promotions.
We'll take the call.
Give a second and we'll get you back in.
Right.
So, good morning, Desiree King. How are you doing?
Good morning, everyone. I'm well. Thank you.
See you.
And for everybody, want to say thank you so much. The segment that Desiree was on last month had a large amount of viewers. So this is absolutely fantastic. So Desiree has been living life since we last spoke with her. So I chatted with her before we went live today. Tell us some of the stuff you've been doing since we last saw you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the long weekend, end of July, I went to the Dominican Republic for 3 days. Wasn't vacation, but I was working on the beach. So just changed locations.
Gotcha.
Yesterday was this weekend was my birthday. Saturday was my birthday. So I went Babyface Live, which we were talking about.
Nice.
Amazing concert. Very amazing.
For her birthday.
Nice.
And also. All right. We have to celebrate properly. Come on now.
So yeah, I'm here. I'm older with more wisdom.
And how was Face in concert?
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very engaging. Lots of throwbacks. Fun times.
All right. Before we get really in the flow, just going to catch up with comments because they're coming in like crazy. Fitness IQ Cam says, Monin. Frequency event promotions, tuning in now. How goes it? Goes fine. Fitness IQ Cam goes, LOL, your favorite word. Yes, Ron used the C word. He also says, Frequency event promotion says, with what is said here, has Dr. Umar commented? I have not heard anything from him.
Yeah, he's been doing his Instagram lives to say that the account is frozen.
Good. And you know one of the things about him? You notice how he repeats things twice? You notice how he does that deliberately? 3 times. Yeah. And also Fitness IQ says yes. I don't know, yes too. And then Fitness IQ Cam says to Desiree, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
All right. We are
she's saying yes if she know about Colin Kaepernick or
Yes, the whole Colin Kaepernick situation with Spike Lee. And it was interesting, just last week, Spike Lee was on with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
On ESPN. And Denzel, fire. He still looks he looks so good. And man, he took swipes at Jerry Jones. They were the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. It was vintage. It was so good. But Frequency event poster says, happy belated birthday, Mrs. King.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. So craft series.
Yes.
Craft series. So for people who do not know what the craft series is all about, I'll give a little bit here saying the craft series is designed to provide insight, resources, and real support to anyone invested in healthy aging and strong family connections with Black communities. The acronym CRAFT stands for C, clarity about needs and goals. R, research to uncover reliable options. A, assessing unique situations. F, finding the right resources. And T, making the most of your time together. And today we're going to be talking about the whole resource thing. And we're titling it From Myth to Truth, researching what really matters for Black elders. So, Desiree, how'd you like to start today's conversation? And people, if you want to call in now, like Frequency Event Promotions, keep it on topic. Keep it on topic, but I'm watching the line so you can call in now. So, Desiree, kick it off for us.
Yeah, so last month, sorry, it felt like last week, we
Yeah.
discussed clarity, going through what your desired needs are and your desired outcomes. So once you have a map, so to speak, of clarity, what you would like, now we've got to go and research what resources are available. And I think there are a lot of resources out there that are available, but there are also a lot of myths that hinder people from locating these resources or utilizing them. So for me, the number one myth I want to talk about before we jump into anything else is that Black elders are always surrounded by strong family support. I think that is
Okay.
a huge myth in our community and a lot of others as well, but let's stick with our community. Maybe if we go back, back home where we lived in a house and it was more like an intergenerational type family, or you have all your neighbors down the road who look out for you and stuff, maybe more so. But I think in Canada, we that myth is not true, and not because we don't care. It's because we have life's demands like everyone else, between our kids, our jobs, living in different cities where we may move away to and from to work. That is a big huge myth. So I think that is something we really need to discuss, because although family may want to assist with the aging process and where they can, it's not always possible. So we need to look at what resources, something simple as transportation. Sometimes if your kids are not able to take you somewhere, we can look at different wheel trans options like that,
Mhm.
or hiring a private taxi company or different services like that. So I think that's the first thing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that because I've become a pseudo chauffeur for my parents.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
the transportation piece is interesting because just recently my dad was so happy because he passed his driver's tests, but
Oh, right.
he's not good at driving at night anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the funny thing is, he periodically has to go for tests downtown at Princess Margaret Hospital, and I don't think there was a time where wheel trans would come and pick him up
Hmm.
and take him back for a small fee, but that seems to be fuzzy right now. But the research and I think also economics has a part of doing this, is involved in this. Well, economics is involved in everything,
Mhm.
but the whole area of, it's one thing, research, where do you start? How do you start? If you're a Black elder, it's a lot to take on your own. Do you have the family resources and support to start the journey?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
and I think that's a really important piece, that it's an investment, not an expense.
Yes.
But
Yes.
And
when you say, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, because when you say that the myth of, I guess, Black elders not having the support, is that the support from the family, or is it more support from broader community that you're saying the myth?
From the family. So the myth is that we're always surrounded by strong family support.
Oh, okay.
It is, yeah, it isn't always there, because we could probably, all three of us, go into elderly facilities, and there are probably many people that don't get any visits from family at all.
Well, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole
Oh, gotcha.
other topic on people actually visiting people, depending on where they are. Like long term care, probably even less so, because the person usually is not as, depending on what their condition is, they may not be as communicative. So the visits decline, right? And then with declined visits, I don't say they get mistreated, but the care may decline. Because if they don't see someone visiting as often or someone actively engaged, then what happens? They can go unnoticed because there are shortage of hours and all sorts of other things happening in these facilities as well. So, and
Oh,
you know what? That is, people, I get it, like they're busy, but that is where something like home care can come in. I'm not talking about the government funded, I'm talking about private home care, because even if you have someone in a facility like long term care or in retirement, you can do top up care where if you're not able, you can bring someone in who will spell that quality time and be kind of like your eyes and ears of what's happening in these places when you're not there in your absence, and drive you to, and if they're more independent and living aging in place, you can get a caregiver who drives. So now you have doctor's appointments, you have different appointments. This person can go along with mom or dad, and they can also be your ears as well as to give a report back because sometimes your parents may forget what the doctor is saying. So there's a lot of benefits, even looking at that as an option. I'm a firm believer in if I can't do something, multiply myself. So that is a way of
Mm,
multiplying yourself is getting that outside care.
Gosh.
like that take. Uh, I want to ask you a conversation. So, what does the research pillar mean to you, and why is it important for Black families planning for the future?
Having no plan is a failure to plan is a plan to fail, right? Bottom line, you don't want to do research when it is in a critical state because that is when your decisions are more expensive,
Right.
they're more rushed. It can lead to unhappiness. It can lead to discord among the family, depending on how many people are involved in the decision. So even if the planning that you're doing is not for the immediate now, as things arise down the line, you have a plan on what to do next. It's funny because when we look at, say, something simple as kids, there's a plan for kids when they're little. This is what's going to happen. You're going to reach a certain age, you're going to daycare. Then you reach the next age, you go to grade one, grade two. There's a plan. Is there really a plan for aging? Think about it. How many of us really plan for aging?
Right.
So it's the same concept. It's a phase of life. We've got a plan for it. And do we research for our kids before they're even born? We put them on the list for daycare, right? That's what people are doing now. What
Gosh.
are their parents? What are we planning for them? What are they planning for themselves? Aging can just happen overnight, or situations can happen overnight. So it's all about, like we said, creating the plan, doing the research. And there's as much as there's not a lot of, there's getting more. There's more and more resources for our community.
Mhm.
One of the biggest things I'll talk about on the point of research as well is that I believe that more of us have to take seats at the table on the research side of things. We're often the participants in studies where they research us, but who
Yeah.
is they that are researching us and what is being done with that information, right? So unless it's us getting the information and utilizing in the best ways, meaningful ways for us possible, then what's really happening with the information? So taking a seat at the table, having more organizations, being part of the research process, not just being the product being researched.
Yeah, I'm curious. What does that look like? So being more part of the research, like how can organizations be at that table or create our own table so that we're at the forefront of doing this type of research?
There's all different levels. Whether it's policy, if we're in government, we're running for politics, being in government, being part of that policy,
Mhm.
joining organizations that are already active, part of it, volunteering, having a voice. When you hear that there are studies, taking part in it and asking, how can I be part of this? Or forming your own studies. Because there's not a lot of data right now
There
on
you go.
in the Black community. It's not collected. Um, so that's a huge part of it. And I know a lot of younger people right now who are in the medical realm, they are looking at collecting data on statistics on our community because it's not
Mhm.
there. If we don't have nothing to base it on, then what are we basing it on? Myths, right? We right back up with myths.
All right. Another conversation. And you talked about the whole research. How can research help Black families make better decisions about aging, downsizing, or caregiving?
Yeah, well, social isolation is a huge one.
Mhm.
If we know more about the effects of social isolation, which we do, but within our community in particular, I think we tend to be probably more closed off, I guess, for lack of a better word. So knowing what that isolation looks like, knowing the causes of it, knowing what community peer groups there are, I think that would all help with demystifying it and just having the conversation. It really starts with having the conversation. What are people going through? So many people age, and it becomes almost as though health decline is like a normal thing. I remember growing up, you would hear your grandparents talk about, oh, my sugar. That they didn't name it diabetes, but they say, oh, my sugar,
Sugar. Yes, my
or oh, this
sugar.
is hurting, or oh, that is hurting. And it becomes almost like, to me, growing up, when I remember seeing someone in their 50s, they seemed really, really old because they had all these aches and pains that they were embracing. Even the term saying my sugar and my this, they're owning it, right?
Mhm.
So as now I'm in my 50s, I'm like, that's not that old. So what is it that happened with that generation that they're just embracing and maybe not being as active, or there's so many doors this can open that it needs to be a topic of discussion, just discussion groups within community organizations. There's several organizations as well that do have these topics and discussions, so it's being part of it.
Nice. Before we move forward, if you want to get a hold of any of us, whether you're watching live on the replay, you notice that in each one of our squares, we have a QR code. So if you swipe with your phone, it will get you to contact where you can contact us. Also, I want to make sure that, again, if you want to call in and ask questions, please do it. Go to your whatever device you have. There we go. So go to callme.road.com on laptop, desktop, tablet, smartphone, or if you have a smartphone, you can also just swipe the QR code. When you get to the page, put in the code in capital letters FSPL8L, put in your name, and a green button will hit up and say join conversation. We can get you right in there. So thank you for sharing that. Desiree, we can ask some more conversation pieces, or if there's more stuff you want to
Yeah.
share with us, because we always have conversation pieces for you.
Yeah, I think another huge one that I would like to discuss is housing for our seniors. There aren't really any true Black or Caribbean retirement residences. I know there's a huge new one going up in Brampton for that community, although their community is more likely to have intergenerational living in one home. There is a huge one going up. I know of another project for the Asian community, but our community really doesn't have a building that we're saying this is our community. It's not a language thing, it's more of a cultural thing. So I think housing security is a big issue. We have a lot of our older adults who do own homes, but what I saw during COVID, especially, I worked with the A Supreme Foundation, which they're a branch off of another organization. But we teamed up with the African food baskets, and we were delivering culturally sensitive food baskets to seniors who weren't as financially secure. And the places I walked into, seeing how they were living, it really is an unspoken truth. A lot of people I know who have reached out to me even have parents who are living in an environment that's not safe in a low housing building. And
Mm.
they tend to hoard and have a lot of things, and it's not discussed. And even the children don't know what to do about it. So it's even having resources on how, number one, to attack the psychological part of where they are, but also how to get them away from that and get them to release and let go of a lot of the things that they're holding on to for whatever reason it may be.
Wow.
Gotcha. I was curious the approach to the research. Like, what are some of the resources that typically our elders should have access to, that as we're doing this research we should be looking for, like key vendors for or contact?
Yeah, key. I would say definitely. Okay, so let's wills and estates. We've got to have a will. We've got to have power of attorneys. That's common stuff. Exercise programs. Exercise programs, like Taboo, the JCA, those places within the organizations, they have exercise programs for us. Transportation, home care, like we spoke about, home accessibility options. Again, I've spoken to a client this week. She wants to age in place. She does not want to move. And I said, I fully agree with you. We all want to stay at home, but let's do it safely. Safely is not thinking that I'm okay, I'm fine because I can walk up my stairs and use my hands to help me up or bump my way down.
Right.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
not, no,
That's not quality.
it's not quality. No, it's doing it with dignity,
Hmm.
right? It's having someone, even little things like coming in and clearing out the fridge. There are resources where if you're too tired, a lot of times if you go in the fridge of an older Caribbean household, I don't call it a myth, but there's a lot of stuff in the fridge. And sometimes you need to just declutter. Like, just, I'm so big about the decluttering, but decluttering.
Yes.
There are resources that can come in, and it's, you know what, it's private. I think another myth that we have is the whole thing that our business will be all over the place.
Right.
It's finding resources where you know you can find that comfort and have that privacy in someone assisting you to do what needs to be done as well.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I love
Just
that.
want to catch up here. So, good, Dr. Tachi's in the house saying good morning, all.
Good morning.
Frequency event promotions, hashtag African food baskets, Akaya, Tafari. Now, frequency event promotions, you wanted to call in a few months ago. We had to push you off for a bit. You can call back, by the way. We'd like to hear your voice. Fitness IQ Cam goes, that's probably because most refuse to be going into a senior's house. And Fitness IQ Cam goes, so many things in a fridge.
Yes.
Hey, and that's not just seniors. That's a whole other conversation. Let me ask, what are some common misconceptions people have about researching options for elder care or estate planning?
Some common misconceptions is that I would say that they know what's available. We assume that they know what the purpose of it is, or they assume that they don't need to do it because their kids will take care of it or someone else will take care of it. So I think there are a lot of resources available for executor support and for make creating your will and want. A lot of these resources don't even cost a lot. So I think it's more about hosting, financial literacy and estate planning workshops, which we do have. But there's also a type, and that ties into a whole other taboo in our community about discussing death. um,
Yes.
Discussing death is a taboo. We talk about, walking in the house backwards and all these different things when you're talking about death. Well, let's talk about, having resources to show us that it's okay to have these conversations. It's going to happen.
Mhm.
So it's having these resources to plan for when that happens as well.
Do you find it's you almost have to put the medicine in the applesauce where if we talk about things that are of interest and then you can kind of slip in the more serious things, especially for researching resources, like how do you usually approach that conversation so that it doesn't get missed?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think I've mentioned this last time too. One of my favorite openers is saying that, mom or dad, I saw this thing on the news, or a friend of mine, this is what's happened, and this is what happened with their kids. What are your plans? And kind of reverse it back by giving them a real life scenario and then saying, what are your plans if ABC were to happen? Right?
Right.
How about we get someone to speak? And it's also great to have resources that look like you. Everyone, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not racial, it's not anything. It's having resources, looking at someone that looks like you and understands your household or your background when you're having these conversations. So having that resource kit, me personally, I would say that probably 85-90% of the vendors I use, I try to stick with people who represent the community, so that way, when it's a referral, it's to someone who is already looking like you. They have an understanding of the community or misconceptions, whatever, and they're able to help you better.
Nice.
And you're reading my alleged mind. How many resources that are Black/African run are they out there?
A lot more than you think.
This is what I'd like to know about.
Yeah, no, a lot more than you think. And I'm a stickler for when I find one, I have to meet that person. I have to introduce myself. And I let them know it's strictly because I want to meet you because you are part of this community and you're the owner of this business. So when I do introduce someone, it's like I have a gentleman who owns a company that gets rid of insects and, rats and
Yep.
extermination and whatnot.
Right.
You wouldn't think it's so outside of the box, but here he is, the owner of this company. I think a lot of us are secret agents in our businesses. So
Whoa, go there,
businesses
go there.
don't really get out there and push and say what we do. It's like it's a hush hush secret. And we need to start getting out there and letting people know what's out there on these platforms. I myself, I post a lot on social media. I've started doing a lot more things where it's me speaking directly. So when you see me speaking and you meet me, this is the same person. So definitely stop being secretive about what you do. Let people know what you do. Attend events, any events. There's lots of different little events that happen. Attend these events to get the word out there.
Do you think that we should be encouraging our parents to expand their social networks? Like similar to how you're saying with our business, we should be getting out there, because that myth of the support being there when they're older or needing help is
Yeah.
actually a myth, should we be trying to build out like social networks for them so that they do have people to lean on?
Most definitely. I think one of the important components, especially when aging in place, is having those networks to bring out of the house, whether it's for in educational purposes, educational fitness, whether it's for seminars, just for community. If you're just playing games, having conversations, whatever it may be. I was speaking to a lady the other day. She lives in Scarborough, and she was out at a park up in Markham where I think it was through Taboo, but they had like African drumming and they were exercising and stuff to it, which I thought was really, really cool. We don't have it out here in the West, not that I'm aware of, but I thought that was really nice. I'm actually planning on reaching out and seeing if we can, if you don't have it here, bring it. So if you find something and you like the concept, bring it. Form your own organization. My own aunt, she formed something called the Peel Fountain of Health, Peel Fountain of Wisdom Seniors Group. It's a bunch of older Trinidadians, particularly, pretty affluent, but they have their little gatherings. They take their trips. They sometimes take cruises. They do different things. It's important to have that community. And I think it also helps you see that it's not just you who are going through this. You know,
Right.
everybody, you'll see the decline in like 5 years, you go back, everybody else has had some form of decline as well. So it lets you see it's not just you. You can have that conversation and then go from there. And another important part of this is spirituality. Another myth, I wanted to touch on that as well. Spirituality alone sustains Black elders in aging. Okay,
Mm.
I'm a Christian. I know that God is with me and he provides for me. But there's also the practical side. Faith is powerful, but practical resources are also needed. And what I'm seeing a lot more of is a lot of churches realize, the pastors realize that their congregation comes to them for advice and everything. So I'm seeing a lot more churches holding workshops, bringing people like planners in to have meet them where they're at. So
Yep.
coming there, they're bringing them there to have this conversation because we have a very strong faith as a culture. And I think a lot of times we'll say, oh, well, don't worry about it. Yes, God will provide. Yes, he will. But faith without works is dead. So we have to go and do the work, do the research, and then allow for that part to kick in as well. The two things combined.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to Shirley Jasma. Shirley, have not heard from you for a while. Hope you are fine and safe, and we're having a great conversation here in regards to elders. Let me ask to you also. Let me just bring it up here as I have a um, in your journey through this, what is one resource that you wish you knew about sooner for the elders that you serve?
In my journey, what is one resource that I now have that I wish I knew about sooner?
Yes.
I would definitely say, and this is more of a one on one relationship that I have with someone who is a social worker that works with helping people navigate and understand how the long term care system works. So, I had a conversation with someone looking at that last night. She really, I think she dispels the myths of what long term care is and the access pathway into it. It's not as simple as thought. Like you just can't say, okay, I'm going to put myself on the list because I want to, and then wait. That's not how it works. And
Mm.
if you're on the list, be prepared to be on the list that if a place comes up, you take it or you're off the list for at least 3 months before you reapply. So just the whole process of that, because if you're not prepared for that, especially, the lists are long, but you can probably even age out waiting on that list. So
Wow.
it's really knowing how to navigate that system because when a person reaches, I went through it myself with my mother-in-law. When a person reaches that stage where they need to have a higher level of care because we're dealing with Hoyer lifts, which is hard on your back as a secondary person. Even though they're bringing someone, you still got to assist. You've really got to know how to navigate that. And there are little things like if they end up in the hospital, are you able to bring them back home? maybe
Mm,
really make the push. Like, I really can't do this. And, you may get offered all sorts of bells and whistles, but it's short term. So it's really, I've seen families who've gotten to that situation, and because they felt they had no other option, they probably brought the person back home, which was the wrong decision to do because they're in a position now where there's accountability in the hospital to
Right.
find a place where this person's going to get taken care of because the family is saying, no, I can't do this anymore. And that's for their own well being. So I think definitely since I've connected with her, I've been able to, when possible, speak to a lot more families and connect them and say, listen, here's a pathway to help you through this.
Love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let me ask, what are the hmm, how can families involve elders in the research process to make sure their voices are heard?
So encourage them to watch shows like this, where you're
Mm.
opening a platform by having a show like this, having open conversations. Encourage them to watch it with you or watch it with them. Attend seminars with them. Go through the list and say these are all put together a program. It's like I said, I have a lot of people whose parents are planning to age in place. They may find an adult daycare program for them. Make them a part of the process, though. Don't tell, involve them in the decision, give them their options, let them choose what they would like to do. So don't do it for them. They're not children. Involve them in the decision making process, but definitely open them up to all. You see things like these. A lot of our parents, even though they're older, they may still be on Facebook or they're on their phones on WhatsApp. Shoot them a copy of the video, just send them a link. They'll watch it.
Okay. But just before we go any further, Frequency for Promotion says, Event Pro says, Dr. Vibe, could you please share the call-in information again? Thank you if the show allows. Yes, producer Matt, can you put up the call-in information? Because hopefully now, Frequency for Promotion, you're going to call in. Another conversation piece, how can someone tell if the information they find online is trustworthy or relevant to their situation?
Okay, so that is a tough one because there is a wealth of information online. I would say research, 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 and then find a resource like myself through my concierge company that is working in this every day. It's one thing to do your research, another thing to be doing this every day as part of your process. So, as I said, the connections that I have are people, if I don't know the answer, you call me. Desiree,
Okay.
heard
Do
this.
I have your permission to interrupt?
Yes.
All right. Let's see if Frequency for Event Promotions, are you there? Are you there, sir?
All right, sir. See if.
Okay.
Okay.
We're getting
We're getting
feedback on
feedback
your
on
end,
your
sir.
end, sir.
Let me see if I can change that.
Yes, be
Yes,
prepared.
be
Come on now,
prepared.
be
Come
like
on
a
now,
Boy
be like
Scout.
a Boy Scout.
How do I sound?
You're still
You're still
echoing
echoing
on your end.
end.
Jesus Murphy.
Well,
Yeah. Do you still have the YouTube open?
Murphy.
You might need to close it.
Say it again, Ryan.
If you have the YouTube open as well, you might need to
yeah,
close it.
yeah.
I muted it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's still going.
It's still going.
I still have it
Still
going.
have it going.
So what I'll do is I'll disconnect and reconnect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. While he disconnects and reconnects, I don't know if we interrupt. Yeah, you interrupted you while you were going through the flow. I don't know if you remember where you were at in regards.
I was actually going to mention that another resource as well is we do something called the Bring Your Own Device workshop. So technology is huge in research nowadays. It's getting them comfortable with the research. So with Bring Your Own Device, people can bring their devices in. We'll do common topics like, online scams and video calling, these things. But then we also get them comfortable with using the devices. Through my concierge support program as well, we also do tech support with seniors where we can be where we are and we'll connect with you and show you how to connect to do certain things and then help them. When you get comfortable with technology, bookmark.
Okay, Chris, if I have your permission to interrupt again, Christopher. Hello.
Greetings.
Okay, I think the echoing is less.
How about now?
Okay, I think we're okay. Yeah, it's certainly reduced. Thanks for calling in. Hope you are fine and safe. Do you have anything you want to ask or comment to Desiree?
Well, yeah, Ms. King. Is there an organization or foundation that primarily focuses on raising funds to support elderly? It's okay if there is not. Just wanted to know if there was.
Yeah, so I know again the Ace Supreme Foundation, they had a program called the Buy Some Time program. So any of the fundraisers that they did, like say different events, scholarship, not scholarship awards, but award ceremonies, that type of thing, they would do fundraising where a portion of the funds would go towards buying some time for a senior who can't otherwise afford health care. And that was something they had going that I thought was really nice because it is expensive, so you would be able to buy blocks of times and like donate it towards the care of someone. That is one that I know of. As far as others, I'd have to look more into that to be able to answer you directly. But that is one that I can speak to that I think was a great cause that's different than what you normally hear happening, because healthcare is one of the most expensive costs when you're looking at a senior living at home, especially. Yes, you have the government care coming in, but it's not always enough.
Oh,
Thank you
okay,
so much,
nice.
Desiree King.
Yeah.
Christopher, anything else you want to ask or share? Christopher, are you there?
Still here.
Okay, anything else you want to ask or share in regards to the conversation topic today? I don't know if he's hearing us.
We might have lost.
Okay, Christopher, we're going to disconnect you because it seems that you're not hearing us, but thank you for calling in, and please feel free to call back in. So let's
Awesome.
go
And my
there.
apologies, I do have to jump. I know
Yes, you have your 10 o'clock
it's
thing.
10, but always good seeing you, Desiree. So
Yeah.
we'll follow up because I know we wanted to do some events together. So I'll
Yeah.
send you a note.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, you take care. Have a good
one,
rest of the week.
Dr.
We'll
Bud.
see you on Friday. Be well.
Yes.
Good stuff. So Ryan
Please
has
subscribe
jumped
to the
off.
Dr.
Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Want to get to 1,890 subscribers? Can we do it? Or 1,880? I think it's 80 subscribers. Can we do it by Friday? Yes, yes, yes. Also, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky and Substack. If you want to join our Discord group, please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, or click on the link that's there to advertise your business product or service on our platform or any of the platforms I'm a part of. Email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Let's see. If you want to get a hold of Ryan, RyanO'NeillKnight.com, and that's Knight with a KN, not an N. And also LinkedIn, Ryan O'Neill Knight, Instagram at Ryan.Knight99, email workwithme at RyanO'NeillKnight.com, myself, website, the drvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram at The Dr. Vibe Show, X Dr. Vibe Show, email, given that many times. If you want to catch me on Substack, which we're continuously now broadcasting live, drvibe.substack.com/subscribe, and on Blue Sky, drvibe.bsky.social, and you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also the Afro-Caribbean Business Network YouTube, and Ryan O'Neill Knight YouTube. All right, so I guess we're not getting our friend to call in. We were hoping you would do it, Shirley, but Shirley, I'm speaking that you will follow up with Desiree. So as we finish up here, thanks to everyone who watched live on the replay. It's appreciated, not taken for granted. As always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Good history, by the way. And try to do both and make it better. Big thanks, as always, to producer Matt. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith while good. We'll see you on Friday. Probably have another Freestyle Friday, but who knows what's up. Take care of yourself. Peace.
this whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn, juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
God.
Oh my God.
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.